So we are now recording the September 11th, 2020 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Oh,
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday and remembrance for 9/11.
Yeah, every year I found this thing. I did not write it, but I share it every September 10th in the evening.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys all saw that, but I can share it here if you want me to, but I don't
It's
have
very
to.
well done.
Go ahead and share it.
Okay, just give me a second to find it again.
Gina, where is that place in Pennsylvania from where you are?
Oh, it's about 2 hours away, like northwest from where I'm at.
Oh, the Pennsylvania site?
Yes, yes.
Got it.
So this is what I share.
19 years ago. It's so hard to believe it's been that long.
No.
It does not feel that long to me at all.
No, and it's just in the last couple of years where I can know that it's September 11th and not be completely emotionally overwhelmed. I still remember everything, and it will still get me. But for years after, I could not really function. And I wasn't, it was a national trauma. I wasn't personally affected by it. I didn't know anybody who was personally affected by it. But with the media, we all lived it.
She does.
Absolutely. Hang on a second. Let me.
I'm still.
It stuck me in full screen, so I lost my ability to. There we go. We've muted Linda.
Okay. No, she's still there.
I thought I did. Did I do the wrong one? Okay.
Yeah, you did Linda Artisani.
Sorry, Linda. And you're even spelled different. Okay. So lots of fun stuff happened this week. Microsoft put out a new update that did lots of fun stuff. We don't have any of our techie people here to talk about this. No Ernest, no Mark, no Matthew. But it got my printer again. This is the second time for my printer. What it did was took away my color.
Oh, no.
I don't really print a whole lot. Mostly I do print the PDF and save it digitally. But there is still a client that wants a printed invoice and it's all tricked out in color and just doesn't have the same presentation with black and white.
Apparently Microsoft did something to drivers, to many of the drivers.
Well, that's what they tried to blame it on. They tried to blame it on the drivers. But you know what? My printer was sitting there doing the same thing it was doing that day after the update as it was doing before the update. So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't blame my printer and my drivers and my connection. I blame Microsoft. Don't play with me like that. But I did finally get it straightened out. Other people, though, Miss Sarah Laidlaw, I think you were one that your QuickBooks got knocked out.
We're being blown out of QuickBooks off and on all day, for like all week. But I don't know what happened. I didn't work today, so I don't know if any of it's self-corrected. Yeah, because there were some more updates that came down. That's annoying. I'll get out.
That really puts a cramp on your style when you got a lot of work and you're working in QuickBooks Desktop. It really does.
Well, we have a client. Well, we have a couple clients actually that in the rare occasion that they need to print a check, we've sold them a license of QuickBooks so it's on their local machine. And we get the checks ready to print, call them and say, okay, go into QBox and they can print the check. And this guy, as soon as he would log in, it'd blow him out.
Oh.
And so, it's bad enough if it's my own staff and we're not being very efficient, but when, what do you tell somebody like that? And then can't do IT. I don't, I'm not going to
Right,
do IT
exactly.
maintenance
Exactly.
on his machine. I don't know.
Exactly. And
Mhm.
I've given up trying to be IT for other people. It's all I can handle being IT for myself.
Exactly.
I don't even manage that well myself.
Exactly, exactly. And in addition, other people, and I did have this happen, the icons of they call them clients now, the programs that use client on your desktop, Bill.com and Avalara got knocked out. They just got blown off of my desktop entirely. Now, it didn't lose the program, so I was able to go in and find the program and then reinstall the icons on my desktop. But other people were not so lucky with that. Their systems, it just got taken away completely. So this was a tough one. This was a really tough one. Second thing that happened this week is QuickBooks Desktop 21 is now out, ready to be downloaded. I got a notice from my pro advisors that it's ready to. I have not done that though.
Right. Just for pro advisors, not the general public.
It's just pro advisors.
Right. It won't be released until September 21st, which means we have a little window of time before the massive price increase to buy 2020, and you'll automatically get a copy of 21.
So anyone that's a pro advisor and has someone that should be upgrading this year should be telling them right now to do it.
And we're being advised as resellers to go ahead and buy a bunch of licenses just to have them to sell, just because
Right.
the price increase. I mean, we're talking over $100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
And you
When-
cannot get a box of QuickBooks in the store anymore. They're only selling the subscription now. The only way to get a permanent license is to go through a reseller.
So Sarah, when does that $100 price increase happen?
September 21st.
Okay. I need to send my client an email.
Yeah.
Well, I just talked to her about it today and I said, let me know when you're ready. Because I told her she had till October 1st to decide. So
No, it's a weird date. It's like the third week.
Deadline is now pushed up.
Yeah.
You're on the fence, this should push you over it.
Mhm.
And even if you buy it and don't install it until later.
All right.
I used to say R4. When you see I used to tell my clients when I used to do desktop, it's like, wait till R4, don't go crazy.
Right.
They got to fix the bugs.
Yeah, just
R4.
buy it
Oh
and
wow!
wait.
I had people going, I should I install it now? And I'm like, can you wait
No.
at least until they do the first service pack?
Exactly. Although in the past I've been brave and downloaded it, but I have two computers and I put it on the computer that I don't use that much. So if it busts something, I'm okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm really anxious for 21 because I'm a nonprofit accountant, and the ability to customize and print AR receipts, AR receipts.
Nice.
That is huge. So
Yeah.
I try to upgrade most of my clients are on the same cycle. So we just did this massive update every client to 2020. And I'm like, well, I can nurse that for a couple of years, but I think I'm going to go ahead and buy a 5-year license and then upgrade all our in-house clients to 21 after their third release, of course. But I really want to play with the new bank feeds, and that receipt is just huge. Sorry.
Bank feeds, are they better?
Do what? Yeah, they're
Yeah.
Oh,
starting
the
to
new
look
version?
more like
Mhm.
they're starting to look more like QBO.
Nice.
No, they don't look like that. They look better.
Yeah. Well, and the roles are getting all upgrade too.
Oh, for enterprise, yeah.
Oh, is that just for enterprise?
Yeah.
I read that wrong. Oh, you broke my heart, Sarah.
I know. I know.
Wait, rules is only for enterprise?
No, there's
No, the
rules.
roles in
Roles,
enterprise
not
Oh,
are
rules.
much
roll.
User
more,
roles.
yeah.
Okay. Because there's some changes to banking rules.
Yeah, no, I'm at user roles.
Oh, I was talking bank feed rules. RULES.
Oh, I was talking roles. ROLA.
So what changes are happening to bank feed rules?
The ability to edit and that kind of a thing.
The ability to, I'm sorry, what?
Edit?
Edit.
Yeah,
Nice.
and the fields, like now you have to click on more to add a you have to click on the little more to add like a memo. Now it's just front and center.
So
But they did not add where you could add a column for the job customer name. So
Why?
I know it's a huge disappointment. Mm-mm.
They were talking about it. It was in
Yeah.
one of the tests.
Mm-hmm.
well, maybe they could
Oh,
still,
they have to save something for next year.
Right. Or the subscription.
Or the subscription. You will find that all the new cool toys will be in the subscription and not in the permanent.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So it's a bone, one little bone or two every year, but that's it.
and
Mhm.
there you gave us the slide to Hector's presentation. Thank you. Hector always does an amazing job. Anything that he does an amazing job with.
For sure.
It's funny. His hour went to an hour and a half,
Mhm.
and I wanted to see Jeannie Whitehouse at 2:00, so I popped out. But then they send you a link so you can watch. I finished watching it later, but
Nice.
How was Jeannie? Was she good?
she's always good.
I know. She's so personal.
But she, I was really wanting to see another demo of auto entry, which is at the end. So she touches on a lot of apps more in theory than, can't do much of a deep dive with that kind of talk, but it ended with another demo of auto entry.
Nice.
What do I think?
Nice.
Cool app.
So I wanted to ask everyone, have they noticed that dark mode is creeping in different apps?
In QuickBooks.
Well, a lot of people like dark mode. I've never seen the attraction.
What is dark
It's-
mode?
It's supposed to be, in theory, easier for your eyes, but for me, I've noticed that it hurts my eyes more. I don't know if it's just a me thing because I have such funky stuff with my eyes and I get migraines. And so I will put it in dark mode if I'm working and I shouldn't be and I've got all the lights out. That's the only time that it's better. It seems better for me is if I've got a migraine and I have all the rest of my lights completely off.
Then it helps. Well, dark mode means instead of having a white background, you have a dark background and
With-
white print.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's kind of opposite of what we're used to. For me personally, either way, I could get used to it. I'm not in love with it. I don't hate it. Either way is fine. But I'm hearing from other people that are like non-techie kind of people. Yes.
There's dark mode for teens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what's happening is dark mode may be turned on for a certain app or whatever native environment that you're in. And then you do a copy and paste and you switch to something like Word and copy it and you get a blank screen.
Oh, it brings the color of the font over?
It brings the color of the font over. So people just like freak out like,
Because white on white is invisible.
It's invisible, that's correct. So you have to change the color of the font to get it to come up. People don't know that. People
I
don't
don't.
understand that. People
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Well,
Huh.
it's just like when we used to write in lemon juice as a kid.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
exactly. So just something to remember as the transition is happening. You know, if you're going from dark mode to dark mode, you're fine. But if you're going to dark, and I'll call it classic for less than, I don't want to say white mode, I want to say classic. You need to change that font color to see what you were working on.
Here, I'll give you Facebook dark mode.
Yep.
Ah.
Google is even doing it now too.
I
And
like
you can
the
the
option.
toggle is right here where you can just go back to light mode.
And for some of them, it's super easy. I am very glad that Facebook puts it in your face where you can see it. Google does not. They have made that decision for you. They've changed your font. I mean, they've changed your default. You go to bed one night, you're in classic, you wake up the next morning and you're in dark, and no one
Where's
knows
this?
how to change it
Goo-
back.
Google what?
Google Chrome,
Oh, the browser? Huh.
your browser, yes. Yes.
Because mm,
Yes,
Okay.
it's rolling out now.
you
So
can't
some
you
people
can't
have
change a
it.
theme. You can't change a theme, maybe. Mm.
I don't know. I haven't tried it. I've just
Well,
gone
I
with
like it. I like it at night. Like if I'm curled up in bed with my iPad and I don't want to wake my husband up, I like the dark.
Right. I've let it go. It doesn't bother me, like I said, either way. And I know enough that if I'm going in between dark and classic to change the font, it's other people that aren't used to that type of thing happening that are like freaking out and not thinking something's the matter with their computer. Why can't they see their print? They're typing,
Right.
nothing's happening, you know, so.
I'm glad you said that about the font. I wouldn't, that makes sense.
Yeah, I like using it for my Google, not my Google, my Kindle app.
Yes. It's on Google on my tablet as dark mode, but when I come back to my computer, it's back to classic.
But you're saying they change it and then you can't change it back.
I have not personally gone through the settings to see how hard it is. I
Because
just know other people.
this is what it looks like. So
This
I
is
don't know.
classic mode here.
Yeah,
what we're
well,
seeing.
the only time it goes dark for me is if I go to incognito, right? And I can't remember how you do that.
Click on the 3 dots next to your picture.
Oh, the 3 dots, okay. There you go. That's what's dark. Maybe you use incognito all the time.
No, it's specifically called dark mode. It's a new thing, and different apps. I know Slack has brought it out. Yeah, Facebook is rolling it out. Google, like I said, on the more portable devices, it's out. On my computer, it's not. And going between dark mode and you have it on Teams, Ernest, right?
Yep.
So are you using the dark mode? Are you enjoying it?
I think dark mode in some apps is really good. Other apps don't do it as well. What I've seen on the QuickBooks dark mode, I'm not really that impressed with so far. So yeah, Linda agrees. It's a little bit of a not quite there yet, guys, but in some it's fine.
I don't like it. I
In fact,
have a hard time seeing it, actually. I think maybe because I have older eyes, but I just don't see the dark mode as well, unless it's really
I
dark.
don't either.
I find it, I need my screen super bright. I go to I have one desktop client that I go to, and her screen in her room is so dark, and I literally have my face all the way up to the computer to see it. I just can't stand working there because of that. I can't see.
so you probably can't tell, but you see, like, this is dark mode on my iPhone.
Right, yes.
And that actually makes it, that actually, I like that because now you can see the white letters just pop. right, on the rest of the screen. But for the iPhone, right, there's a button right down here that allows you to swap the whole thing from dark mode back to light mode.
Oh, nice.
So it's at the machine level. So it's kind of interesting, the other apps that are more at the, the app level versus just, taking the cue from the entire thing saying, oh. And what's nice is there's a setting in the iPhone, after a certain hour, it'll turn it to dark mode.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yes, I've done that too. That's my key to say, put it down now, time to stop playing.
You go Twilight.
So I haven't looked at, the iOS app for QuickBooks doesn't change.
Oh, okay. Well, QuickBooks never really did well with colors and fonts and themes, in my opinion. They need a more creative person in that area. But they try. We'll just leave it at that. And Shannon, you wanted to talk to us and let us know about a fake profile that's going around.
Oh, sure.
So let's
Maggie
talk
Brown.
about Marie Brown.
Marie Brown stole somebody's picture.
Oh, yeah.
I did a reverse lookup on her picture and found her, and it's not Maria Brown.
Yeah, here's
Surprise.
That's awful.
here is the other people that used her image, and here's the actual publication, and it's actually Maggie Rowe, and this is from a alumni magazine. So, I mean, it just goes to show your picture can be stolen from anybody. Because she sent me a friend request too, so I've got her
I'm
her
gonna
whole
go look
thing.
now. So who's it, Maria?
Maria Brown.
I know
And
she got Linda Arsani, but I didn't see anybody else that had.
Yeah, there's Tanya's in there. Donna Reed is there.
yeah, there's a lot of people now. I mean, when I looked the other day, she only had like 45 or 50 friends.
I've reported her a couple times, but like I suggested to
Doesn't pretty good, does it?
the lady in lady to maybe find her on LinkedIn or something and let her know, because she needs to report it to Facebook if she has a Facebook account. I mean, she may not even have a Facebook account.
Right.
Well, I see a Maria Brown, but she's been on here for quite a while, it looks like.
Yeah, but her real name's Maggie something.
Maggie Rowe.
She's Mike Rowe's relative.
No E on it. So
okay.
I just reported her and deleted her request.
Yeah.
So
I get so many fake requests at this point that,
Here's what I wonder. I wonder if it's a real person who doesn't like her image and took on somebody else's image.
Yeah, but she's got a brand new profile, and she's and I don't know if she really does work at where does she say she works?
The Sage something, Sage hosting.
Sage Next.
Yeah.
If you follow it down, she has a bunch of profiles.
That's what I thought.
Right.
I saw Pro Series. I saw SageNet. I saw several of them.
Yeah.
So what's the purpose of doing that?
We can't figure that out.
Just to.
So this one right here, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, reporter.
She hasn't sent me a friend request. I'm not her friend, but I was just looking all the way down here at the bottom. So this was posted 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's been up for a while. This particular one,
but did you guys know you can, when you post something, you can put a date on there to say when you posted it?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So she changed the date then to make it look like she's been on there for 4 years.
It's possible.
Well,
But yeah,
and
I
it,
just,
it's probably a salesperson who's just got this whole fake persona going on. I don't know. There's got to be some motive behind it.
I'm sure. I'm sure. But
you want to
whatever it
report
is,
it
just,
before you block it, though.
yes, yes. We'll get her kicked out of this area.
He gone.
So is there anything else anyone would like to talk about today before we end our session?
I just want to say that I would take that extra hour and a half, actually, tonight or whenever, and review what Hector had to say about 2021 before
Yes.
I did anything with my clients or myself.
Thank you for the slides, Larry. I will post that when I post this tomorrow.
Yes.
And he's on YouTube. It's already up on YouTube.
Yeah, he emailed it to all of us with the slides and everything. So, but he did say he personally did not like the way the receipts work in the new desktop because you have to be very careful to do it in a certain order.
Right, and there's no
Out of
user
order,
control.
It disconnects everything. So
And there's no user control, like if you have multiple users. It's their first shot at it. Yeah.
yeah, so and I just really trust Hector. He did say it's not bad. It's just you have to be careful with it. You know, the other thing I would just like to say, I actually just got a text from a client that I worked with in 2008.
Nice.
And they want to know if I'm still in business. I helped them in 2008 to start up their data file, and they need help with inventory. So, so I'm going to contact them and say, guess what? I'm still in business. So, yeah, they're from,
Nice.
they're actually from Kyrgyzstan, you know, and they bring in special wool from special sheep that they grow over there, their families over there, and they make mattresses and pillows and everything out of it. So it's really kind of an interesting thing. So
Nice, nice, nice. It's really nice when you hear somebody that's
Yes.
still in business
after
all
12
that time.
years, yeah.
You know, I helped people that only lasted 2 years. So, you know, 20 years later, it's nice.
It is nice. Yes, it's a good feeling. So, and I got another client this week that's, I had given him a $150 discount on an invoice. I worked for him over a weekend and it was like, the invoice came to like $1,000 or something, but he'd bought gift certificates and that we got it. But I gave him a $150 discount if he would install QBox. If he didn't install QBox, he wasn't going to get that. And so yesterday I sent him a new invoice showing him owing me $150 because he hadn't installed QBox, and this was 90 days ago. Oh, he was so sorry. Oh, for the delay. So we're going to install it in the next couple of weeks. So.
What a nice
bill
way
for
of
that.
getting them
It's
to
called
do
a
it.
bribe.
I like
Give
that.
them an offer they can't.
And I'm going to remember that one.
I like it.
I do
Brenda.
too.
Oh, brilliant.
That's awesome. That's one way to convince people. Put a little carrot in front of them.
So do y'all want to hear about my little foray into the QuickBooks payroll support this week?
That was very good, Sarah. Yeah, share about that.
Well, you know, the ones of us have been working in QuickBooks for a long time. We rarely call support unless it's something that's something, you know, that isn't something that we can fix on our own. I mean, we don't call for accounting help or, you know, how does the software work help. It's usually a bug of some sort. So, and then it's pretty painful. So I put it off and procrastinated all week. And finally last night I was like, okay, I might as well bite a bullet and call. So, you know, it's painful to, you know, they actually see your phone number and know you're a pro advisor. So you sort of get in the right area. But there's so many questions in the queue. You know, do you want to go left or right or one or two or, you know. So you wade through all that And then they say you can leave your phone number and they'll call you back, but that never works. So I'm like, I'm just going to put them on hold, keep working. And so I got a human twice and within a few minutes was disconnected. So had to start all over. Cute. So when I finally got the third human, I immediately said, if we get disconnected, please call me back. And she said, well, of course, what's your number? And I'm thinking, what's my number? So I gave her my number. And so I said, now before we get started, now let me back up a minute. You have to understand how support works. They have, it's like going to the doctor and you say, well, I have a fever. They're going to go through
the
checklist.
elimination of it's not this, it's
Right.
not that,
And they don't know your background or your level of knowledge or what you've done. And so, but a lot of the support people are strictly checkboxing per people, check. And so you try to explain to them, okay, no, I'm a seasoned QuickBooks user, certified pros advisor, whatever. So
That's what I wish there was a fast path through.
Yeah,
I mean,
there used to be.
Exactly. And
Well,
so
yeah, but
some of them won't listen to you, and they will just, you could talk. It's like talking to a wall, and they keep going through the checkbox. So that's what I was expecting. So I just sort of, went in with the attitude, okay, I got disconnected twice, and so I told her, I said, okay, before we go any further, I've done this and this and this and this and this and this, and I've been, I'm one of the original pro advisors, and if we need to start with a checklist, can we just escalate it right now? And she started laughing. And she said, no, I'm with you. So right off the bat, I had somebody who, she knew what I was talking about.
You got lucky.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do really get
Right.
lucky and get somebody that's right on the ball.
Still, she had to ask all the questions. We had to go about it. When you're troubleshooting, you have to understand that there is a method to the madness. You don't always immediately know what the problem is. So you have to rule things out and do things. So, and I could tell she was typing questions and she talked to herself, which was really, I enjoyed that because I knew what she was doing. But she was actually typing what I was saying and relaying it to somebody who was relaying back. So, and I understood that. So that was cool. But just as a backstory of why I called, one QuickBooks file, one employee. When you go to pay the employee, the Social Security company code over in the accrual window was duplicated, and it was doubling the accrual. Fortunately, my bookkeeper caught it, and so she was zeroing out one and correcting the other one, because the next payroll, it was trying to auto correct year to date. And so anyway, I'm like, how do you fix that? That's some sort of a corruption. So I did all the normal stuff. I did the verify and the rebuild and the round tripping and the resorting, and I did all those. I made sure I was on the latest release. I made sure I was on the latest payroll update. I downloaded a complete payroll update. I rebooted. Okay, so I did all those chores before I called support. So I know that there's a feature in QuickBooks Desktop where you can have it do like a payroll checkup, where it tests all your math, your date, and checks your settings. So I go to employee and I go to payroll settings, or payroll, what is it? Payroll.
It's kind of like a Windows doctor.
I forgot already. It's what is it? It's a employee payroll settings. Payroll settings, maybe. It's the wizard that you use when you set up a new payroll for one thing. But and it would immediately give me an error message, that big block that says, "Sorry, do you want to send this report to Intuit?" You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's also a little button that says to look at the report, and there's 3 files that it puts on your C drive that's mostly gobbledygook. I mean, to somebody just looking at a bunch of big data dump. But buried in that, in the header file, one of them is called header. Buried in that, pull it out to a text file, and then you search for, you do a control F for find. And so you search for this one term, and boom, it goes through the file right to where, and it shows you where the file failed, which gave us some more clues. And then I started, and I was trying to get ahead of her too. So I was copying and pasting some of the clues and Googling, and QuickBooks technical articles were popping up. So anyway, the long story short, she had me export a withholding report where she shows the, you can show the, select all the different payroll items. And she had me select local 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to local 12. I'm like, okay. And I know that we use the local field for the state unemployment, one of the portions of the state unemployment rates. And I know that you use it for, what is the federal, the extra tax if you make over, I forget how much money, 200,000 or something. There's an extra.
The Medicare.
Medicare, code. So that's really the only thing I've ever seen in that window when you're setting up payroll. But sure enough, there was my employee, and it had Social Security company in the local tax 3 field. I'm like, what on earth? Well, fortunately, and this is where you start learning good tricks. She said to export every employee, okay, not just current employees. And sure enough, we found 4 employees, and 3 of them actually had wage codes, like hourly codes, in the tax field. And it's an easy fix. You go into the employee and you go to the tax field and you just delete it. So I don't know how those fields got corrupted. I don't know how a payroll item code that doesn't belong in that field got in that field. But that was the fix.
Wow. That's pretty intense, Sarah.
Yeah, it took about an hour and a half, but I had my little OneNote open and I was doing screenshots and documenting everything we were doing, so, if it happens again, I'll be able to refresh my memory, but,
And
yeah, it was pretty interesting. So, when I was done, I actually enjoyed the process, but I dreaded it.
no, I feel you for that. I do feel you for that.
Well, who has a couple hours to burn?
Exactly.
No,
I mean, that's really what it boils down to. It's not like I can bill anybody for it.
Exactly. That's the problem in a nutshell. But
well, the problem I had this week was I went to go, so I used QBO full service payroll, and I put it in air quotes because it doesn't feel like full service. So I'm like at 7 o'clock at night writing a payroll check to myself, and it took it out of the wrong bank account. And I'm
It's
like,
common.
no, this is not okay. And so, I call whatever number they give me, and, you go through the drama of, you got to go to help, and then you have to say full service payroll. It's like, no, you know what, if it's full service payroll, give me a number that I can call where people are there, reasonable hours for people that are doing payroll, and just let me call and fix it. So I ended up having to delete the payroll check so I didn't bounce a check.
wow.
But I'm like, there literally I had no alternative, right? I mean, if it hadn't have been my check, if it would have been, some of the others that I wrote earlier in the week, and when I called in, like all I got was somebody from India whose English was pretty rough. And they were like, I'm like, can I talk to the people that are managing full service payroll? He's like, well, here's the number, but there ain't nobody there.
Thanks. A lot of help.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I was like, great.
Well, you can always hang up and recall, and that, it does take. It
Yep.
does take longer to do that, but you could find somebody like Sarah that
Yeah.
really is.
Or you could call Shannon.
Well, but the problem with QuickBooks Online Payroll is if you change your bank account, it changes it in one spot, like for the physical, actual, real live bank. But you have to change it in another spot. I've been working with a lot of bookkeepers who they're with the PPP. A lot of the places had required that they opened up a new bank account, and that's where they started running the payroll from. And I didn't let any of my clients get away with that nonsense. I told them it was going to cost them $500 for me to do that. But when you physically change the bank account where the money is coming from, there's a hidden spot in QBO to change the accounting bank account.
Yeah.
So then we've been having to mess with putting in clearing accounts because once it's drawn on that account, you can't fix it.
It's a nightmare. I actually changed banks like a month ago, which is when this drama started. And I innocently just went in and changed it like, oh, I can just change it right here. And it put it
One
in
of
the, exactly. That was the first series of overdrafts that I got. Because I was closing one account and, I was reestablishing somewhere else. So obviously when you close the account, you don't leave a ton of money in there.
Right.
So, yeah. So when it happened again the other day, I was just really anxious because I'm like, I don't need another overdraft. I convinced them to reverse the overdraft fees the first time because I literally had never had an overdraft in 10 years on that account. So I'm like, please, but yeah, I knew that they wouldn't do it.
They're not so amenable.
They wouldn't be doing that a second time. So that's why I just deleted the check. And oddly enough, when I went and I reissued the check yesterday, it went to the right account.
Yay. So success for both you and Sarah.
But yeah, it was pretty stomach gnarling. I mean, it almost makes me want to hire Shannon just to do the payrolls so I don't have to gnarl my stomach over it.
I have capacity now because I've hired somebody fantabulous.
Congratulations.
They're so awesome. I have to make up words to tell people how wonderful they are.
Isn't
That's
that great
awesome.
when you find that wonderful human to help? Mm-hmm.
Right. Especially since it was somebody that I really had no intention of interviewing, but there was a miscommunication between myself and the staffing agency.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll share the reasons privately, but once I met with them, my hesitation for not wanting to interview them completely went away.
That's great.
But it was stuff that they had. Well, it was stuff they had on their resume. So you kind of have to be careful what you put on your resume.
Absolutely. All right, we're a little bit over today, so we're going to end for today. We will see you all same time, same place next week.
Bye.
Bye.